again, just quietly greeting, with the rein length, keeping his pole up and just finding all these little, slow, quiet, sneaky places to shorten. Might need a little reminder now and then too, just whether it's trot or canter, as you start to take a little more, that it's not about any energy loss at that point. It's all about shape change, which to a degree at a certain stage needs actually a little energy increase. Not that we create more energy, that makes it harder to manage them in front, or again, kind of a bigger stride where they're propelling the forehand away from the hind legs, but there's definitely that feel, like as I start to close the hand and take a little more, if that horse doesn't slow down, like I've done something wrong, like he better slow down when I take the rein shorter. But it's now that stage of life where we start to go, these two things aren't necessarily mutually exclusive, there's variations of a theme. And that variation, let's say, of this rein aid means slow down or this rein aid means power up is all based on what my body language is telling you. So as I take this rein shorter, if I'm still posting or I'm still kind of driving, you have to actually power up into that shorter rein. Whereas if I kind of close my hand or I take a little bit on the contact and my body stops moving, that's time to depower or, come back. Honest enough. There's a car came up behind him. Canter this way, just when you're ready. Good. Good departs with that. Good educated on his part. Doesn't throw himself at it, doesn't run up into it, just shifts gears. That's part of what I got at right away on the right. You can see in him, his body kind of took good management control of his body. Canter was right away balanced, which is why I kind of thought, yep, definitely could be doing some of those walk canters pretty quick here in his life. Sure. Give him a good couple circles to just get his motor going, get the sneezes out, the nose blowing out. See if you could still get the rein just another half inch shorter, hole coming up. Good. No, tipping down. Good. When you're ready to trot again. Those trot canters, all the transitions. But, all of them very different effects, right? Walk canters, like I said, really get them collected or teach them the idea of what the collection is. The trot canters really speak to the compression. The moment of the canter, the trot canter where the back has to, if they do it well without running into it, they have to find this nice upward flexing pop of the back. Canter again from the trot when you're ready. So that's one of those places like I would, I wouldn't go overboard with the walk canters. I just start to play at them a bit. Good. I would definitely go, I'm going to maybe log in 4 or 5 of these trot canters every day, both directions. I'm going to use those trot canters right now to kind of keep sneaking the rein shorter and teaching your body how to lengthwise compress. That compression I always think of like a bow and arrow, and I want to feel like I could pull the string of the bow back further. And by pulling the string back further, I get more arc to the bow, where the two ends, the tips of the bows end up working toward each other, right? Difference with the horses, I don't want the front end going down, right? I'd really like, it does compress, but it also, we have to think of a little bit of that rotation right away so that they don't, roll their nose into their chest and break in the neck in the wrong spot where the bow doesn't get evenly distributed through the whole body. Up in the pole. Good. Trot to walk when you're ready. And same, just stay sitting on them, quietly close the hand, coming right to walk, little shake on the bit of spine, flexing left. Don't overthink it, just think positive, envision yourself cantering, bring your right leg back, and go. And just follow through. Good, nice. I think I said that today earlier, like so much of the training is just mind over matter. Not quite, but like just envision it happening. And hate to say like with young horses, but it's almost, 80% of the time it just happens.
Right.
If you have a really positive view of it, you envision it, you see it, you have a plan for it, and you try to execute it, they usually just do it without much thought. As long as the movement you're presenting them with is logically the next progressive step. If it's like saying, let's try to get him to pee off and just think positive and hit him with the whip, he's not going to pee off, right? There has to be all the correct buildup leading to that point. Good. Pull up another inch. This side likes to get a little lower on than the right, a little weaker on that left lead. The only place I see that is just in the balance of the frame, not in actual gait quality. Good. Trot to walk again, do one more walk there. Those little things, a lot of times you don't do much with it first, but you make the mental note. Where you go, okay, it's a little lower, I got to get a little higher. That side's maybe a little weaker. So over the next week or two, if I don't feel that starting to change, I then get more involved. I then start to go, okay, my recipe is I have to get a little tougher about the balance. I've already talked very diplomatically and quietly to him about it, so we're on the same page. So now I'm just going to get a little tougher. And I might kind of go, maybe on this side I do 3 walk canters instead of 2, or 4 instead of 2, whatever that formula ends up being, or an extra trot canter or 2, or maybe just 1 extra session of canter than I would have done to the right. Good. And you just look at that and just walk. Good excuse. That's our 3rd walk canter. Yep.